Hi guys, hi from Andrea Unger. Let's talk about indicators. I'm often asked what indicators I use in my trading systems, or another question is, if you had to choose one indicator, which one would you choose? Well, I don't use indicators. Actually, I don't use indicators in my trading systems as a setup tool, as a decision maker. I mean, I never used indicators to mix information together in order to get a level and a timing to enter the markets. Why not? Because I never found an effective solution to this approach. I never found a way to get a decent performance report using indicators to define where and when to enter. Also, I believe that well, indicators, first of all, indicate, they give us an idea of what is happening, okay? But they are not detailing the information. They are an average value of different situations. Also, in case I would use indicators, or if you really want to use them, I suggest to consider using indicators only if you have wide enough time frames on your chart, which means at least above 30 minutes time frame. Why? Because indicators are built out of price in your bars, let's say, and the noise in the markets affect the information of the indicator if it has too high an incidence on the data. If you work on extreme case 1 minute bars, obviously, and you build the indicator on the close of the bar, the position of the close inside the range of the 1 minute bar can have a great difference in percentage on the range if you move it by 1, 2 or 3 ticks. And obviously the exact position of the close of the minute you are plotting the chart is random. It can be here, it can be 1 tick above, 2 ticks above, 1 tick below. We cannot obviously determine exactly which tick is the right one. But if we move by 1, 2, 3 ticks and we compare that to the range of the 1 minute, that move can be important in percentage. On the contrary, if we work on 1 hour bar, 60 minute bars, this is the range of the bar, and we move by 1, 2, 3 ticks. This actually does not really matter too much on the whole information we get. So building indicators of the close of the bars, but the same applies if you use the high, the low, or the open, or whatever, obviously can lead to dramatic changes if this close can be affected by randomness of prices or by noise itself. So actually, if you want to use indicator and to have a clean information out of what you have plotted, you need to use larger time frame. This is my personal opinion, but I found obviously data from my research that confirm it is better to work on larger time frames when you want to use indicators. That said, I don't use indicators as a setup or trigger tool. I eventually use some indicators as filters. I prefer to enter based on patterns and on breakout or counter trend concepts on very basic levels, high of yesterday, for example, high of today, these things. Then I can add an indicator to filter. My favorite indicator of this is the ADX. I avoid, for example, entering at the breakout when the value of ADX is too high. And too high is already above 40, for example, because a high value of ADX indicates that there has been already a pretty strong acceleration in the moves of the prices. And normally I found out that the response to a breakout after an already existing acceleration is weaker, if not at least not effective at all. So I prefer to enter at breakout when the situation has been calm enough before the breakout happens, which means ADX should have lower values. Personally, I normally use below 40, but this is up to you and your tests eventually. Another way I use indicators sometimes is using moving averages, but these are simply used as a trend indicator, which means I go long only if we are above this moving average and short only if we are below, for example. Getting back to the ADX, there are some benefits, similar benefits using some oscillators like the RSI. Somebody prefers to use RSI instead of ADX. I don't use it. I've not noticed any particular benefit, but it might be a solution. But that said, this is the only way I eventually use some of these instruments. No setup, no trigger based on indicators in my personal trading. Only eventually filters, and if I use them, I do use them on larger time frames. I never plot indicators on a 5-minute chart because I think it is too poor an information what I'm getting from that because of the errors present in the plot of the indicator due to the noise in the markets on the smaller time frames. Filters. No setup, larger time frames if you really want to use them. This is all I would like to tell you today about indicators. Obviously, if you have questions, you can write below the video or send me some specific topics to answer. I'm here. I hope it was useful. In any case, see you next time. Ciao from Andrea Unger. Ciao. Enjoyed it? Click the link below and you will be noticed as soon as new material is available.